My MegaMart, best value by far. Get more with your membership card. Best value by far. Get more with your membership card. MegaMart, best value by far. My MegaMart, best value by far.
Good morning.
Hello, Mega Family!
Welcome to another episode of the MegaMart Shopping Show. We are outside the Waterloo store.
And guess what? We're going on a field trip! Hey,
So, we're going to the Meteorological Office of Jamaica at the Norman Manley Airport.
you said that good enough? The Meteorological Office of Jamaica.
Meteorological Service of Jamaica.
Meteorological Service.
Meteorological.
See, we start all right, we're going on a field trip. Come with us, please. We're going to learn so much more about...
It's the start of the hurricane season.
Yes.
Hurricane season started on June 1.
Yes.
So we're going to learn all about hurricanes
From the
today.
experts.
And of course, we're going to come right back to show you all the hurricane supplies that are available right here at MegaMart.
Yeah, drive?
Yes.
No, I'm driving.
Chris, do it.
Wild Gilbert. Well, Gilbert, you're gone. No, we can chat behind your back. Wild Gilbert. Want to come in my room? Wild Gilbert. Want to come in my room?
All right, awesome. So I'm excited about it. Yes. All right, so listen, we gotta tell the folks. So we are at the Norman Manley International Airport.
We're heading up to the Meteorological Service.
Yes.
Their office that's right here at the airport.
So we're gonna meet Evan.
Yeah, we're going to meet Director of Met Service, Mr. Evan Thompson, and his team of forecasters and meteorologists, and they're going to tell us all about hurricanes.
All right, so let's go learn
go.
all about
Hurricanes.
and how the weather is collected, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever, I don't even know. I'm excited about this. All right, I think we're here.
Hi, Kimberly. Good to
Mr.
see
Thompson,
you.
how
Welcome
are
to the
you?
Met.
I know this face.
I know that face too. Welcome to the Met Service.
Thank you so much.
It take you too long. You should have been here a long time. Hurricane season starts from the 1st of June.
Yes, but you know how it is, right?
All right.
Yes, but
I'm actually
welcome.
meeting the man himself, Mr. Evan Thompson. Big up yourself, sir.
Welcome, yes.
Thanks for your service over the years.
Oh,
Many
thank
times
you.
I've-
No
I've-
problem.
I've
It's-
long listened to you with keen interest.
Okay, wonderful.
Particularly this
Thank
time of
you.
year, right?
Yes, we're super glued to the weather station.
Okay, well, hopefully you won't have much reason to see me
All
this
right.
year, but we'll see.
We were
Here you
super
go.
excited
Come right
for this
in.
field trip.
Yes.
So, is this your first time to the Met Center?
This is my first time, yes, to the Met Service, to this section of the
Okay.
airport.
Yeah.
All right, well, come with me. I'll take
right.
you down to our operations center where we have all our forecasters on duty.
Right.
Well, of course, all wouldn't be on duty at this time, but we have a forecaster, we have an observer, technician, so you'll be able to see what we do here
Awesome,
daily
awesome
basis.
at
stuff.
the Norman Manley International Airport.
Okay.
This is
All
where
right.
the forecast center
How many different offices? I'm sure they have offices all over there.
we have, apart from this airport, we also have an office at the Sangster International. We don't do forecasting there, but we have observations.
Okay.
And of course, primarily for aviation interests.
Right.
And then we also have our radar station in Cooper's Hill, St. Andrew.
Right.
And we have our head office, which is on Halfway Tree Road. And that's where we have our climate services. Also, our instruments team is located there.
Right.
And our administrative services that provide support.
Awesome. And I gather you rely on all these different areas to
Yes,
make your accuracy.
everybody is always
Involved.
involved with each other. You know, we're working always together.
All right.
All the
all
various
right.
sections.
We're excited.
So this is it?
Yes, this is it. Please go right in.
Water,
Hello.
climate. All right.
And we have we have one forecaster here. This is Mr. Robinson.
Mr. Robinson.
Yes.
So this is a forecaster. I was
Yes.
actually expecting him to be in a jumpsuit or something, but the rain isn't falling right now. Kim, can you get in there for me, please?
Nice
Mr. Robinson, nice to meet you,
That's
sir.
Romain Robinson.
Romain.
Pleasure to meet you,
Nice.
Romain.
Well,
Respect.
he's a familiar face as well.
Okay.
He tells the weather, right?
Yes,
Yes.
yes. I think I've seen him on TV for
I know.
sure as well.
And there's
Or heard the voice, yes, on the radio.
Yeah.
All right.
Another forecaster is in the wings here.
Hello,
this is
sir.
Mr. Peter Ferron. He's a senior
Mr. Ferron.
senior forecaster.
Mr. Ferron. Pleasure to meet you, sir. Welcome. Mr. Ferron, don't like cameras, you know. Mr. Ferron is shy.
Shine away.
All right, so where are we here now? This is...
Well, I'll leave you to Mr. Robinson. He will show you all that they do in terms of the forecasting.
Yes.
And who they depend on in terms of providing them with additional information to continue their work.
Well, thank you so much, sir.
You are welcome.
Yeah, man,
all the best.
appreciate
Enjoy your
you.
time here at the Met Service.
Yes, sir.
As we always enjoy coming to MegaMart.
All right. Sir Romain.
Yes.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm very well, thanks.
So you've been charged with telling us what all of this is.
Yeah, so this is really one computer.
Okay.
And we have several, well, more like 3 different models running through it.
Okay.
And we do analyses of temperature, wind, rainfall, pressure, humidity, everything runs right through this. So we're actually using software
Right.
to develop these forecasts and do observations as well.
So each monitor is literally telling you something different about the same thing?
Basically, yes, it's really one monitor just split into 4.
Right.
Okay.
Currently running what we call SmartMet, and SmartMet is a piece of software that was designed specifically for Jamaica. So the Meteorological Institute in Finland developed it, and we adapted it, and it was personalized for the island of Jamaica, right?
Right.
So what we're looking at here is actually the Caribbean.
Yes. I can identify
Right.
Cuba,
We're right there.
Jamaica, Hispaniola.
Right. So those colors on the map are actually representing areas of clouds and showers. So it's actually taking the information as it
happens?
right. But
So
the
this
good-
is real time?
right. This currently is real time. So it starts at one point and then ends at the current point, which would be call it 12 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Now, what we can do with this is that we can pause and we can move into some other types of modeling, and we can look also at different types of forecasts. So we can actually move in time
Right.
to see what's going to happen up to about 7 days.
Oh.
So the models will take one initial reading and then do a prog or do an estimate out for individual 1 hour periods all the way out to 7 days.
Okay.
All right. So you guys are pretty much, you guys are predictors of the future.
Essentially, we try. We do our best.
You know that sometimes when you get it wrong, people actually come out and
Yeah, We've had
You try your best,
it has
I
happened.
understand.
What would for instance, I'm seeing different colors here. What
Yes.
would each color represent?
All right. Now the colors will represent amounts of rainfall. I'm going to do a zoom,
Okay.
and you can actually see that wherever you put the mouse, it's going to give you a readout of the cloud type,
Okay. Yes.
the amount of rainfall. It gives you the pressure at the surface,
pressure.
right?
Yes.
So because it's so specific and because it's high resolution, you can move the mouse anywhere across the island and get information.
And get information about that
at that particular
section
point,
of the island.
right?
Wow,
Wherever the
wow,
mouse
wow,
cursor,
wow.
wherever the cursor is, that would be essentially what is happening at that point.
Okay.
So this is one of the tools in our forecast arsenal.
So the hurricane season is literally here.
Yes.
And you know when a storm is coming in, all of a sudden you guys become the most important people
Yeah.
on the face of the earth. Right? I mean, how do you start to track it? I mean, how do you pick these things up early? Do you see it? You have to explain to us. You know, I mean, why do you name them? Are you the
How you go
people who
about
name
naming
them?
We're not the people who name them. However, it's the names follow a particular format.
Right.
And then for our area, we're in the Caribbean, we're in Latin America, and also the US, the names have to also follow a particular format. So we start alphabetically,
Right.
and we alternate between male and female names. And this year, we started with Andrea. We had Andrea already.
So we're female names.
So we're starting with female names.
Female name first and then a male name.
Right. Normally, it's a female name whenever it's an odd number year. It starts
Okay.
with a female name whenever it's an odd number year. So
Okay.
it's an even number year, it starts with a male name.
Okay.
We normally give out 21 names, or at least the Hurricane Center would give out the 21 names of the storms. And all the forecast offices would have it. So we'll know exactly which storm will be coming up whenever
So
it
give us the
develops.
scoop. How many are you projecting for this year?
This year, it's expected to be a more or less normal season. So we're looking for 9 to 15,
9 to
average.
15.
right, on average. And about 4 of these should be hurricanes.
And all of them are missing Jamaica.
We hope. We hope.
Fingers crossed.
We hope.
Okay, so that's how you name them, but how do you determine the categories of hurricanes?
All right.
Strength of them,
The
yes.
strength is really by the wind speed. Hurricanes are wind features. So
Right.
the stronger the winds, the stronger the hurricane.
Okay.
Tropical storms are also wind features, but you need to get a tropical storm that gets to about 74 miles an hour for it to be
Before
called a category 1 hurricane.
Right.
Okay.
And it goes up to category 5 where the wind speeds are above 153, 156 rather, miles an hour. So we can see that there's
A big-
almost double, right,
Yeah.
Yes.
between the lowest and the highest.
My reference for a hurricane is since I actually lived through one, is Hurricane Gilbert. I mean, I've experienced others, but Hurricane Gilbert really rocked us in a
Yeah.
different kind of way.
Yeah.
It was
That was a category
4, it ended up
4
as, right.
hurricane. It was weird because people tell me Hurricane Gilbert turned back. That's often said. I'm not sure if it's that
Did
turn
it
back
really
or
turn back or?
right.
Not
The
exactly
direction
turned back,
just
but
changed.
depending on how the direction changes, it will appear as if it
turned.
went one way and then it's coming back the next.
Yes.
It's not so much a turn back as a turn. So it was moving westerly and then it turned more towards the northeast. So it
Right.
seems as if it's moving in the opposite direction or turning back.
So it didn't really turn back. You're saying it maybe changed direction.
Right. So what actually happened is that the eye of the hurricane moved over the island.
Right.
And on one side of the eye, the winds are moving in one direction, and on the
One
other side,
side
they're
of
moving
the
the other.
eye.
Now,
The
people
opposite
went
side.
outside and assumed that, oh, the eye is clear
I
and
know,
there's
people went outside.
right. So they assumed that the hurricane had stopped, and they assumed that everything was clear. But then
Right.
the winds are coming back from the opposite direction, so
They assume it
they
turned back.
assumed it right.
I mean, what's your advice in terms of to Jamaicans, the categories of hurricanes? I mean, when would you say you should definitely not try to be
Outside.
facing the storm?
Well,
at all? Category
at-
1, 2.
I wouldn't say at all that somebody should be outside during even a tropical storm.
Okay.
These things can do a lot of damage. You don't know what it could be carrying in the winds, debris flying all over the place, that
Right.
kind of thing. So it's best to stay indoors once you have something passing over you, tropical
storm or
storm
something
or
like that.
hurricane. It doesn't matter which category.
Can we often see people on TV nowadays? You know,
Yeah, going
the
out
storm is
and-
coming and they're at the beach.
Yeah.
Storm chasing. Oh,
Yeah.
those they like the
Yeah.
high waves. So
Right.
that's when they come
Surfers
out.
and that type of thing.
I'm fascinated with weather. When I was in high school, I really loved, talking weather and geography because it's phenomenal. It's beyond
Yeah, it's very
human
interesting.
and right.
Yeah.
What's the difference between a tornado and say a hurricane?
All right, let me talk about the similarities first.
Right.
Both of them are cyclones, so the winds are turning in the same direction.
Okay.
It's just that with the tornadoes, they're a whole lot smaller, and they don't necessarily have the accompanying rainfall and torrential downpours
That
and
would come with a
floods.
hurricane.
However, they have the same basic type of cloud patterns, and they come from the same cumulonimbus cloud. With the tornado, however, you have a difference in the wind speeds at the different heights. With
Right.
the hurricanes, the wind speeds has to be the same more or less within that particular height or that particular thickness.
Okay.
So that's one of the major differences.
And the typhoons? Because we do see, I'm sorry.
Yeah, typhoons are hurricanes.
Because they
or-
carry water, they carry a
right.
lot of water.
However, the naming convention is used over more so the east,
Right.
Yeah.
in the
So Asia
Pacific,
inside, yeah.
right?
Not
the
really in
Asia,
the Caribbean.
right?
Right.
In the Caribbean, we actually, or in the Pacific rather, would have hurricanes as well, but it's more so for the eastern portion of the Pacific that we call them typhoons.
Typhoons.
Are there any names that they've retired just because the hurricanes have been so bad?
Yes, there are several. Ivan is gone. Katrina is gone.
Ivan gone.
Wilma is gone.
we'll
There's
never
not going to be
hear
another
another
Gilbert.
Ivan.
Right?
Can't be another
Or
Gilbert.
Gilbert.
Thank God for that. We don't want to see Ivan,
Yeah.
Gilbert, nor Katrina.
And you know the names come with a particular attachment if people are affected. So you know
Yes.
they don't want to.
Like
I know.
Katrina was
Right.
devastating.
Yes, a lot
Yeah.
of
So
people
the names are
perished.
retired whenever.
What
damage
goes
is
into tracking a hurricane though? Here, on like for the national level, what goes into tracking a
All
hurricane?
right, well, hurricanes normally form in the Atlantic, sometimes they form in the Caribbean. So we continue to watch the Atlantic. Somebody's always here, we're always doing a watch, we're always analyzing charts, that type of thing. So we're watching the Atlantic for disturbances like
Right.
tropical waves. If you see something, these patches of clouds, they tend to not really have a signature, but there's a turn in the wind, and you can look for that. When they move across, once the waters are warm enough, if they're far away from the equator enough, they can develop some kind of a cyclonic circulation, and that's where you start to know that
That
you
they
have
are
a low
forming
pressure
into-
center,
yes.
continued growth, it develops into a tropical storm, and then sooner or later, if conditions are right.
One of the things that my mind, and of course I have a warped mind, so please forgive me.
Yeah.
I think about meteorologists like yourself, or maybe your department at the JDF, jumping into a helicopter
Yeah.
and flying directly into the storm to tell us how fast it's
We
going.
also have NHC that gratefully
Yeah.
Yes.
has decided that they're going to be tracking these systems once they have some suspect.
Explain NHC to me, please.
The National Hurricane Center.
Good.
They're
and that's
based in Miami,
Miami,
Florida.
right.
That's,
So-
those are
And they
who
actually
we call
fly into the
storm
storm.
chasers?
Yes, they're storm chasers. Once they have a system out there, they're going to send the hurricane hunters and the reconnaissance aircraft to go in, fly in a particular pattern, get the wind speeds, get the pressure at the center, and then they start
Thank God for
doing
that.
their-
Thank
Would
God
you
for
do
that? I would not. Thank God for that.
They actually have a I think it's like 100 or 99% success rate.
Yeah.
There hasn't been anything
I'm sure the
disastrous.
planes are specifically
Yeah, the
built,
planes
right?
are specifically built
they're
for that.
well
so-
trained.
Yes.
And they're very well trained.
So do you actually go and look outside? Do you just stay in here
There's an
and
observation
decide
deck?
what the weather's going to be like?
We have observers. Observers go outside every hour. Every
come here,
day.
say, brother, stay on the computer and look outside. Actually.
No, we actually go outside, and what we do is that those observations, we have to catalog them, and they are
Okay.
sent out to different airports. We're at an airport, so we actually have to be communicating
With other airports.
other airports and with pilots as well.
I'm not going to tell you,
because-
say, my grandmother dangerous. And my grandmother used to just go outside and say, ha!
Rain a go fly.
Rain not going to fly today. And she was right. She was
Yeah.
dead right. So, hey.
Or you smell the rain breeze.
Yes.
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 So, are there any apps that the public can use to stay abreast of hurricanes or the weather in
Because
general?
I needed information,
Yeah, we do have one application that's web-based. And what it does is that it gives us an opportunity to warn Jamaicans in specific areas across the island about particular types of weather events, whether it be tropical storms, hurricanes, flash flooding, thunderstorms,
Right.
small craft warnings, that type of thing, wind warnings. It's actually controlled by the forecaster, so the forecaster is going to update the warnings as he does his forecast, or she does her forecast.
Right.
And we just press publish and it goes straight out. And once you're at that browser, once you're on the browser and you're at the link, it's just going to show you where
So
the
it's like
warnings are.
real-time information.
Yes.
What's the traditional way of getting this information out to the public? We don't use the radio a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
what's the connection between yourself and like broadcast houses?
We do a lot of emailing as well, but we do also send information to media houses, and they would then spread the word on our behalf.
Right.
Television stations.
What is that?
That is just. It means that warning we're hearing means that the winds have changed, or there's probably a need for something to be looked at in terms of sending a message for a wind.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Just around the
No,
Let's
it's
say
not.
that one, sir. I'm
Yeah,
Mr.
it-
Category 5.
No, nothing like that.
It sounds dangerous, right?
Yeah, but these are the kind of things that you have in
Yeah.
place here
To
to
pick
ensure
up
that
on.
you guys stay on the ball.
Right.
Okay,
Awesome sauce. Well, you know what, man? This has been
Thank you so
awesome.
much.
Thank
We
you
do
so
have
much
enough
for
time
coming.
to show, of course, the watching public every single detail.
Yeah.
But you know what? Hopefully, we're inspiring some young meteorologists out there.
We hope as well.
We hope to, right?
Yeah.
Or geologists,
Forecasters.
Yes.
forecasters. And it's just been a pleasure, this entire experience.
Thank
been a
you so
pleasure
much for
having
having
you.
us.
Yeah, man,
And of
respect.
course,
for
we'll
coming.
share the Smart Alert app on our social media pages.
Yes.
So follow us
Yes.
on Instagram and Facebook at MegaMart Jamaica. And
You can follow the Met Service as well. We're on Twitter at MetServiceJA.
Right. And don't cuss them off. Send some nice
How you
messages.
say the word-
These
the
are
rain off
essential
today?
service. You're essential service, part of the essential service,
I
right?
think so too.
Which means I'm half of their work. So please have respect for them, right?
Yeah, so we're heading back to MegaMart. After all this, we're going to show you all the hurricane supplies that you need for this hurricane season.
That is correct.
Stay
So
tuned.
let's go.
Yeah.
All right. Respect.
you very much.
All right. This the way?
Yes,
Yes.
this way.
And nothing will go off again. No buzzer, right? Because you know me run. Great. You're not leaving?
They promised to give me a.
I what?
I want it to
Hello.
stay.
No, we want you to go. We have work to do. And we're going to show the people we have and weather supply. Yo,
That was really, really
I
interesting.
really enjoyed that a while
I
ago.
know you did.
For real.
You had too much fun.
No. Yeah, listen, we were out. We don't normally go on those adventures.
It was like a field
you know what I
trip
mean?
kind of
Yeah.
vibe. I learned a lot.
I did too. It's nice to go and meet the experts in their
Yeah.
field.
I appreciate them
Awesome.
a lot more now.
So, guys, since we're back here inside MegaMart, we get a chance to show you all the supplies that we have for the upcoming hurricane season. Voila! Well, we have much more than this, but we've kind of, we put them all in one place for you. So let's start. See, that's the wind blowing already. Over there. That's the wind blowing over there. Tell you what, before we even get right here, one of the things I want to start with was some of the things that I've noticed you guys are packing in new here at MegaMart.
Yeah.
You're carrying a lot of water containers or different types of containers. Some of them are right in front of us right here.
Yeah.
And these are good for storage. Now, storage and water is an issue that we have even without a hurricane.
I was just about to say that with the climate change now, we're
Yeah.
having more and more droughts.
That's
so
right.
water is definitely an issue before
Water
the hurricane gets
is
started.
life. If you speak to any expert on what to do to survive a hurricane, they'll tell you store water. You need drinking water. You need water for flushing.
For your animals as well.
For yes,
Pets.
and pets and so on. But trust me, after the hurricane,
For
I think
cleanup. Yeah.
you need water for cleanup. So very important that you store water everywhere. All right.
So,
All right.
The light is gonna go, of course.
Light is definitely going to go.
You can bank on that.
And most of the time, the electrical company, JPS, will probably turn them off for
Ahead of
safety.
time.
Right.
Correct. Right.
Right now, you definitely need.
A flashlight.
You need flashlights. Now,
Yeah.
I don't know. You're a lady. You like fashionable flashlights.
I like these because they're super light. I feel like
Exactly.
Yeah.
I like the flashlights that are super light, but also the ones that don't use too much energy. So
Right.
these LED lights are perfect for that here at MegaMart. They're powerful, 1 watt LED, and what I like about it says use 90% less energy with standard bulbs.
Oh.
So you get so much more from these powerful LED flashlights right
Actually,
here.
like this one because it says it lasts over 100,000 hours.
Exactly.
7 hours runtime.
So you get some variety, but pretty much what we're trying to show you is that we're bringing in lights that can last you very, very long. You don't know how long electricity is going to be off.
After the
it's important,
hurricane,
right?
right.
This one also has a little hand that I like, so if you're not using it, you can actually keep it on your hand. Because in the darkness, you just might need.
Oh, and these come with the batteries.
Right. Now this is a nice neon color, so you definitely can see it everywhere. And and it carries 2 different types of sources in terms of lights.
Yeah.
So there's one here and then one up here at the top as well.
Oh, because it's a flashlight and a lantern in one.
Exactly.
So you can extend the base and that turns into a lantern.
Right.
So you could actually put it down
in the middle of the room.
in the middle of the room and it will.
keeps the entire place lit.
Yeah.
Which is really what you want, because trust me, every room probably could have one of these in
Right.
there. That's what you need to
And
keep
then if
rooms
you
lit.
need to leave, you could turn it back into a flashlight.
Right.
I like that.
Now,
Okay.
I see there's actually some more here that I want to show you. You mentioned lantern, and here's another type that's really cool. Check this out.
Oh wow, this one look
This is
bossy.
kind of sleek, and Duracell's doing
This
some
is a
awesome-
manly flashlight right
Yeah,
here.
but you know what I like about this? It's very practical. If you take this around here,
is.
it sits
Oh.
there on the base, and you literally can
You
pull.
can angle it.
Exactly, it has 90-degree movement in terms of angles, and you can also hang it.
Oh.
So it has the hook at the back. You can
So
hang
instead
it.
of putting it on the floor, you can hang it and get more light from the ceiling.
This is really, really good. I mean, even if you're fixing your car,
Yeah.
you need this. It has a magnetic hook. Hey.
Oh, magnetic
Yes,
with hook.
and it can sit there.
Oh.
It's awesome. Really,
Nice.
really nice. I like this one. All right, so we featured some high-tech ones, but we also have, what else do we have? We have these
Your
right
standard flashlights.
here. Yes, standard flashlights. I like these, though. They're colored.
These are super light too.
Right, they carry their own little hooks as well. Some of them, and here's
These
one.
go with the bigger batteries.
There you go. There, right, these go with bigger batteries. But we have basically lighting for whatever you want, whatever your needs are. And I like these as well. I really like these, in fact, because these are also lanterns, and they're LED lanterns. They're very lightweight as well, and they carry their own. Well, they carry batteries, that's there, yes. And these are good batteries, but we also carry other batteries, a
Right.
wide variety of them as well, in fact, and some of the best in the world. Booyah! Talking about them right here.
So be sure to look at the packaging for your flashlights or your lantern so you choose the right size battery.
Right. Yes,
right?
yes.
And of course,
You need enough.
Yeah.
You just don't know how long the electricity will go away for.
Yeah.
Some people come and they tend to just pick up one set of battery
Or
for the
two.
flashlight or two.
Yeah.
No, you literally don't know. So I'd encourage you
To have
to
extras.
have enough. Pick up as much as you can because trust me, sometimes you don't have, sometimes your neighbor don't have.
Right.
Yeah, and if you
and
have
you have multiple flashlights.
multiple rooms in your
Yeah.
house as well, you definitely will need enough. So pick up enough batteries so that it can last you throughout, perhaps the entire time that the electricity is off.
Yeah.
You never know. But again, if batteries aren't your thing, you know, some people don't love the
True.
battery thing, then guess what?
Old school.
Guess what? You can always go with our lanterns here, or we call lamps.
Lamps or lanterns.
Yes. And also we have the good old
Home sweet home.
Mm-hmm.
Kerosene.
Right. Now, these are classic kerosene lamps. We used to have the ones with the home sweet home written
Yeah.
on them, but this pretty much is the same type of lamp. Now, we're going to ask you to be extremely careful
Mm-hmm. And
with
cautious,
these.
yeah.
Be very cautious when you're using the
Watch your
classic
kids,
kerosene lamps,
yeah.
especially
Around
if you have
children.
children around in your homes. Now, these are pretty good lamps. If you use them wisely
Yes.
and correctly, you usually don't have any issues with these lamps.
Definitely.
And what I like about them is
So
once you
placement is key with this. You don't want to put it too low.
exactly.
You want to kind of put it away from the windows as well so curtains don't blow and hit
Exactly.
it over.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And they do carry quite a bit of heat as well.
Yeah.
So you want to be careful.
Don't burn
Explain to
yourself.
people don't touch the surface of the lamps and
Yeah.
so on. Awesome.
Right.
So I really like these.
And
as
of
well.
course, practical. Always practical.
Yes. Very important. I usually keep at least 2 sets
Packs
of
of
candles in my
candles.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's very important to just have them just in case. And of course,
You're gonna need
you're
your
going
matches.
to need your battery.
Your matches.
You're going to
For
need
your
your
candles
battery.
and your lanterns and your lamps, you're gonna need matches.
And also for this,
You must
make sure you
stock up.
have enough as well.
Because
Yes.
then, even if you're cooking and electricity goes, you're gonna need the matches for the stove as well.
Exactly.
Right.
Talk about. Oh, hold on. We have these now. Tarpaulins. Now I would encourage everybody, every home, to try and get tarpaulins.
Yeah.
Because you never know, especially if you have, just like we learned, different categories of hurricanes. If you have a serious like category 3 or
Category
4
5.
or 5, hopefully we never get a 5, right, or a 3 or a 4. But these are very important to have.
Yeah.
They not only can cover furniture, but they
If
also
the roof goes,
Yes.
you
It's-
can put it in place until
Right.
you get it sorted out.
Now,
If
we're
you
not
have-
encouraging you to run up on the roof during the storm, but
when it subsides,
there is an eye.
Right.
So sometimes you do get a window to
Yeah.
assist yourself, and you definitely need these things.
or if you have if the wind is blowing and you get that rain coming in on the veranda,
Exactly.
this is nice to keep it out as well.
Excellent. So
and
you
of
tarpaulins.
course, we have the cord to tie that down.
Yes.
Because it makes no sense without the cords, right?
And you know what? They actually use some masking tape as well. If you have good, strong
Yeah.
tape, multi-purpose, this can actually be used to help to keep them together or to keep them
and those
down
are good
stuff.
for your windows as well.
Yes,
Keep the,
very, very
yeah.
good. You need to have some duct
And of course,
tape.
we have multiple sizes in the
Right.
tarpaulins, depending on the size of the space.
And the
or-
use of it, definitely. Now, I wanted to pick these up because sometimes you're running around like a scary haired child and you don't know where to find some cord.
Yeah.
Now, you might say, cord? What do you need a cord for? Sometimes you have to tie things down.
Yeah.
Like if you have an awning at your house.
You don't want it to blow away.
Exactly. So when you
And
put that
damage other
awning down,
things.
you usually have to reinforce it with some cord. That's something
Yeah.
I usually do as well. Very
So,
important.
We learned a lot today. We want to say a special thank you to the meteorological service.
Just keep
For
talking.
our field trip. We learned a lot about hurricanes. We hope you learned a lot too. Be sure to check out our social media page at MegaMart Jamaica on Facebook and Instagram for all the details.
This half an hour goes so quickly, particularly when we're having fun and we have
Yeah.
lots of information to give.
So-
So definitely check out our social media. All right,
Stay
folks?
safe this hurricane season.
Yes.
All right?
And
come
remember,
on down
come
buy
to
all the
MegaMart
supplies.
for your hurricane supplies.
We have storage containers too, you know. We should
We have storage containers.
Yeah, for the water.
So much people. All right, we gotta look around.
And the
for some
cleaning
more.
supplies. Oh, just
There's
come
the
down.
woolly
Just come
things,
down.
right?
Just come down.
All right, we have stuff down here. There's a hose. We never show the hose. Listen, you're going to need this sometime at a particular time in your life. It's just a whole bunch of stuff. Guys, remember, check out the social media sites to get more information. You ready? Yes, go. All right, you're going that way or that way?
Oh,
Okay, can you? All right, no. All right, let's go this way. Yeah.